Stadiums, past, present, and future. Stadiums are among the oldest forms of urban architecture. Vast stadiums where the public could watch sporting events were at the center of Western city life as far back as the ancient Greek and Roman empires, well before the construction of the great medieval cathedrals and the grand 19th and 20th century railway stations, which dominated urban skylines in later eras. Today, however, stadiums are regarded with growing skepticism. Construction costs can soar above £1 billion, and stadiums finished for major events, such as the Olympic Games or the FIFA World Cup, have notably fallen into disuse and disrepair. But this need not be the case. History shows that stadiums can drive urban development and adapt to the culture of every age. Even today, architects and planners are finding new ways to adapt the monofunctional sports arenas, which became emblematic of modernization during the 20th century. The amphitheater of Arles in southwest France, with a capacity of 25,000 spectators, is perhaps the best example of just how versatile stadiums can be. Built by the Romans in 90 AD, it became a fortress with 4 towers after the 5th century, and was then transformed into a village containing more than 200 houses. With the growing interest in conservation during the 19th century, it was converted back into an arena for the staging of bullfights, thereby returning the structure to its original use as a venue for public spectacles. Another example is the imposing arena of Verona in northern Italy, with space for 30,000 spectators, which was built 60 years before the Arles Amphitheater and 40 years before Rome's famous Colosseum. It has endured the centuries and is currently considered one of the world's prime sites for opera, thanks to its outstanding acoustics. The area in the center of the Italian town of Lucca, known as the Piazza dell'Anfiteatro, is yet another impressive example of an amphitheater becoming absorbed into the fabric of the city. The site evolved in a similar way to Arles and was progressively filled with buildings from the Middle Ages until the 19th century, variously used as houses, a salt depot, and a prison. But rather than reverting to an arena, it became a market square, designed by Romanticist architect Lorenzo Nautolini. Today, the ruins of the amphitheater remain embedded in the various shops and residences surrounding the public square. There are many similarities between modern stadiums and the ancient amphitheaters intended for games. But some of the flexibility was lost at the beginning of the 20th century, as stadiums were developed using new products such as steel and reinforced concrete, and made use of bright lights for nighttime matches. Many such stadiums are situated in suburban areas, designed for sporting use only, and surrounded by parking lots. These factors mean that they may not be as accessible to the general public, require more energy to run, and contribute to urban heat. But many of today's most innovative architects see scope for the stadium to help improve the city. Among the current strategies, 2 seem to be having particular success: the stadium as an urban hub and as a power plant. There's a growing trend for stadiums to be equipped with public spaces and services that serve a function beyond sport, such as hotels, retail outlets, conference centers, restaurants and bars, children's playgrounds, and green space. Creating mixed-use development such as this reinforces compactness and multifunctionality, making more efficient use of land and helping to regenerate urban spaces. This opens the space up to families and a wider cross-section of society, instead of catering only to sports people and supporters. There have been many examples of this in the UK. The mixed-use facilities at Wembley and Old Trafford have become a blueprint for many other stadiums in the world. The phenomenon of stadiums as power stations has arisen from the idea that energy problems can be overcome by integrating interconnected buildings by means of a smart grid, which is an electricity supply network that uses digital communications technology to detect and react to local changes in usage without significant energy losses. Stadiums are ideal for these purposes because their canopies have a large surface area for fitting photovoltaic panels and rise high enough, more than 40 meters, to make use of micro wind turbines. Freiburg-Mage Solar Stadium in Germany is the first of a new wave of stadiums as power plants, which also includes the Amsterdam Arena and the Kaohsiung Stadium. The latter, inaugurated in 2009, has 8,844 photovoltaic panels, producing up to 1.14 gigawatt-hours of electricity annually. This reduces the annual output of carbon dioxide by 660 tons and supplies up to 80% of the surrounding area when the stadium is not in use. This is proof that a stadium can serve its city and have a decidedly positive impact in terms of reduction of CO2 emissions. Sporting arenas have always been central to the life and culture of cities. In every era, the stadium has acquired new value and uses, from military fortress to residential village, public space to theater, and most recently, a field for experimentation in advanced engineering. The stadium of today now brings together multiple functions, thus helping cities to create a sustainable future.